After installing Windows Server 2016, the next step is to configure your server. Before assigning a role to your server, creating a domain controller, or any other configuration, you need first to prepare your server to be integrated and use it in your enterprise network. There are some basic configurations we must do first. First, we need to attribute a name to our server so that we can easily identify it in the network. How to name your server? If your company has a well-defined naming convention for servers, computers, and other network devices, you will probably follow this convention. But if you have the charge of elaborating such convention, you have to establish an effective one. This will help you and your team to quickly identify a device, its location, and its purpose, simply by reading its name. Your naming convention could be, but not necessarily, like follow. Use the two first characters to represent the country. Example, US for United States, AL for Algeria, and so forth. The next two characters may represent the town or the city. For example, NY for New York, AL for Algiers. Use one character to represent the site code. This is useful when your company has multiple sites throughout the city. You can use three characters to represent the device role. For example, DC for domain controller, SQL for SQL database server, web for web server, etc. This could be the first part of the name. To keep it readable, you can add a dash symbol before continuing with the part 2, which could contain one character to identify the service level. It can be P for production server, T for test server, D for development, etc. And at the end, use digits for the sequence number. Your naming convention does not have to be exactly like this one. You can adapt it to fit your needs. The most important is that you give structured names to your devices so that it will help you managing them and quickly identifying the device type, its role in the network, and its location. It can be of great help. After attributing a name to your server, you have to give it an IP address so that it can be reachable from the network. We have to configure three things. The IP address of the server, which will be 10.10.10.10. The subnet mask will be 255.255.255.0. And the gateway will be 10.10.10.1. The gateway allows the server to communicate with external networks, such as Internet. Without the gateway, the server will only be able to communicate with hosts belonging to its internal network.